So Lidl recently sold a cordless multi-purpose tool. It cost $19.99 here in the UK, and I thought I would do a quick overview of it, unboxing, just to show you all. So it starts off in this little box, this cardboard box, and you can see that it doesn't come with a battery. However, I do have the Parkside cordless impact driver, which does have a 2 amp hour battery, but I also bought myself a 4 amp hour battery as well to use with this tool. So I think the best thing to do is open the packaging and let's see what's in the box. So after getting the cardboard box back, I thought I would just give you a quick once over of the packaging. So it says here that it's a 20 volt Parkside team, and they have many different tools that you can get in this series of cordless tools. It says here on the side that it's a highly versatile oscillation technology for sawing, cutting, scraping and sanding, adjustable vibration rate with soft start, tool-free accessory change, universal receptor, tools can be attached in various work directions, attachable channel for external dust extraction, and an integrated LED light. It comes with a 3-year manufacturer's warranty, and all the batteries are lithium ion, as you would expect in this day and age. So if we move on to the box itself, it's a typical Parkside plastic case. It's not of any great structure or any strength really. It won't last a great deal if you abused it. And it comes with these metal clasps. Again, I don't think they'll hold out very long. They're not the most toughest of clasps. So open a box and you can feel how thin and flimsy it is, but we're not here to look at a box. So when you first open it up, you get this white box, which has got some accessories in, which we'll look at in a minute. You get this dust port. You also get this dust port that the vacuum attaches to, which this obviously attaches to the side of the tool. And then you get the tool itself. So on the tool, what have we got? Well, it says Parkside 20 volt team. It says Parkside here. You've got the adjustable vibration rate here. There's a little thumb dial that you turn. A good feature, I think, on this tool compared to the other cheap multi-purpose tool that I've got, which is a McAllister one, is it has a keyless tool changing facility on it. So you put your tool on and tighten this up, and then you can lock it in with this, which is a great deal better than the McAllister one. As I said, you don't get the battery with this tool, but the box does allow you to fit your charger in here and your battery into here. There is also another space in the box for a bigger 4 amp hour battery, which is the one I recently purchased. So the instructions you get with it are pretty standard to any sort of power tool. They tell you to adhere to the safety instructions, which is obviously a must. It tells you things to check. It lists the different components. It's got about the work area safety, electrical safety, personal safety, power tool use and care, use and handling of the cordless electrical power tool, and servicing. There is also, although I can't seem to find it at this minute, a website where you could go to get a spare battery and charger and spare parts should you actually require any. So as I can't find it at this minute in time, I'll put it in the video description below should anyone want to go look at it. So before we move on to the tool itself, let's just have a quick look at the accessories that you get with it. So you get this great grinding tool. I'm not sure the specific name of it, but it's a great grinding tool to me. You get this scraper, which I guess is for doing stuff like vinyl flooring, carpet tiles, things like that. You get a sanding pad, a cutting tool, straight cutting tool that is, and then you get all these different courses of sandpaper. I think there's 8 in there. On the back it's got P60. So opening it up, there's P60 on the back, and it goes to 120. So in true Peter Miller tradition, I have some clear blue plastic here. We're going to sand this bit of pine on setting 6 on the tool for about 30 seconds, I think. I'll set the stopwatch on my phone, and then we'll see what dust it creates, and then we'll fit the vac afterwards and see if it makes an improvement. So that's the first bit of sanding done. That's P60 grit on the top setting for 30 seconds on this big piece of pine, and let's give it a bit of tap off. There's a fair bit of dust that's come off, as you would expect. You are sanding, it is rough pine, so you will get quite a bit of sawdust come off anyway. Now I'll fit the Hoover attachment, and then we'll see how much it improves. So as you can see, using the extraction system, it takes away the majority, if not 90% of the dust created while sanding. I don't know if I can zoom in so you're able to see it, but that is about all that's left over from sanding this piece. Whereas when I sanded the first piece, as you saw earlier on in the video, there was quite a bit of dust left over from it. So it's a thumbs up for the extraction, because that is obviously quite an important part when you're using it inside and you don't want to create any mess. So with our bit of wood that we sanded earlier, I've marked up a square here, and I've marked up a depth cut, the sort of cut you would make whilst installing a hinge or something like that. So I've marked it on the front here slightly, as you can see. So we'll see what it's like it cutting these two particular shapes out. So as you can see from those two test cuts that we just did, it actually cuts through pine, as this wood is, reasonably well, reasonably quick. There is a few roughnesses on this. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but just there it's a little bit rough, but it's something a little bit of cleaning up wouldn't take too long to do. The square that I cut is actually quite straight, and if anything it was probably me cutting on a slight angle that didn't cut it too straight. Just want to contradict myself on something I said at the start of the video, that it feels quite nice in the hand. When using it one-handed, it wants to do that all the time. So I did try holding it by the battery, but then you haven't got much control over the front when you try and cut it on, put it onto the wood to cut. So I find that the best approach was to hold it like that, maybe my finger underneath just to steady it, and use it like that. But it's a £20 tool. Think about that, £20 for one of these. Alright, you've got to buy a battery, but if you've already got some of the 20 volt cordless range, then you've got the battery. Unfortunately, I don't have another multi-purpose tool to compare it to. As I think I said earlier, I had the McAllister one, but that was a little plug-in one, and I used it once and I never used it again for God knows how long, so I sold it to a guy in work that was looking for a cheap one. One thing I have noticed between this one and the McAllister one is the McAllister one got really hot to hold, whereas this one it's fairly above sort of normal temperature, to be honest, which is a good thing because that one did get really hot. So from doing the sanding test and the cutting test, which are the two main things that I'm probably ever going to use this for, it passed quite well really. The blade on here, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, is an actual wood cutting blade, and the 3 different packs that they do a range of metal blades, woodworking blades and multi-purpose blades, which is always handy to have. That's it. Usually I use the tools for a good 3, 4, 5 months before I do any sort of review on them, but I had used this very briefly and I was quite impressed, so I wanted to get a review out now before the shops, Lidl, sell out of them, because they were in there about 3 weeks ago I think. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. So thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing if you haven't already and you're new to this channel, and I'll see you again soon.